This is something this is a public service announcement from your local school bus drivers. Something I realized the reason why I was running later than usual on my stops is because parents that aren't even on my route would flag my bus down. Today, I hated to do it, but I had to go past people flagging my bus down because I knew they didn't ride my bus. But I get that a lot on my route, and they're like, the common question is I'm looking for route.
This
bus,
route, yeah.
Bus so, not even route, bus so and so. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be looking for a bus. You should be looking for a route. Because the route number is the important part, not the bus number.
Some people call the route number the bus number. They don't recognize the difference between those two.
Yeah, but I recognize.
Like they call your route number as a bus number. Even the kids say, "Oh,
right.
That's my bus." It's like, no, that's not your bus. That's your route.
But and I correct some of my newer parents. My parents that have been on my route now for a few years, have realized that it's the route number that's important, not the bus number. And they're two different things. So if you're a parent and you're trying to find the proper route for your child and you're waiting out for the bus at the beginning of the year, don't look at the top. That's just the bus number. You have to look for the route number, which is at the side of the bus by the door. Isn't that right, dear? Mm-hmm. All right. Because if not, then you're not going to get the right bus.
And if you're looking for where's the bus, what time bus is going to be, call the transportation department. We don't know the other timings, the stops of other bus stops.
Right. And I've had that too. I've had parents stop me and say, hey, what time? I'm like, now I'm going to be late to my next stop trying to help this parent out. Which means, sure, I'd like to help a parent out when I can, but if it comes to me being late to pick up my children for their stop, that's my priority. Right. Yeah, that's my priority. Because we're going to get calls from base 3, where are you at? And so on and so forth.
If your bus is late, it's because of what are you doing to us, making us late. Same thing. That's why your bus is late too.
Right.
You just gotta think about it.
Robert. There we go. Oh yeah. Let me see that. Can I lock that in? There we go.
Angel.
No, look, I got you. See, I'm using my video recording app, so I was able to do a quick adjust.
I'm not the angel no more.
You're always my angel. But so yeah, that is very important to make sure that you know your route number. I always do that with my kids. Every morning, my kids know our route number because every morning, right before we get to school, I say, "What's more important, the bus number or the route number?" The route number. Why is that? Because the bus number can change. So the children on my route never look for the bus number. I tell my high school students that, and they always still look for the bus number. And I'm like, no, look for the route number. So this was interesting the other day. I decided to wait instead of posting it. I wanted to do a experiment on my bus for my younger kids. My grade school, elementary kids. So the first day of school, you know how we do. We allow the children to sit where they want, so we can see who the bad kids are and how we can rearrange the seats. Unless you have the same kids. But in this case, I just told my kids, you can sit where you want. Well, there was this disagreement between these two girls, not the boy. So what happened was I had to pull over and I went back to see what's going on. And these are little kids. I mean, they were like just a few seats behind me. But these are like, just a few years old in Gia. Like 6 years old. Yeah, 6 years old. And he said that they both wanted to sit with this boy. And it was a little black girl, little white girl. So the little white girl said, "But you can't, silly. He's got blonde hair. He should sit with me. Because when we're older, we could actually get married."
Wow.
Yes. So I was going to make a post about it on Facebook, but I was like, yeah, let me do an experiment instead. So, number one, that does show you right there to be 6 years old, 7 years old, and to say that she is fully aware of race. And she's already segregating in her mind who should be with who. Now, they say that children don't learn that, so it is.
She learned it from somewhere.
Right.
It didn't come out of her.
That's what I'm saying. They say children don't. They say children.
She was
not don't learn, but children learn that. So she was taught that somewhere at home, most likely. So what I decided to do with my experiment after that is I sat the little ones, the smallest ones, a boy and a girl, and I sat them with different races. They were different colors, and everybody is fine so far. Because I was thinking that we have those rules that boys can't sit with girls. I can understand that for high school students, because they're.
Or the little kids, if you know them,
right,
they're gonna do something.
Right.
Or if a girl has a problem, so yeah, but.
Right, if they have a problem, yeah. But they're all close to me anyway. They're all in the front because they're the smaller kids.
So yeah, we're keeping.
So I deliberately sat them and mixed them all up, boy and girl, because I feel that if they, because we're just teaching them segregation. We're teaching them boys sit over there, girls sit over here. When, they have to learn that
to respect each other.
Yeah, I don't think you can learn that if it's always boys and girls sit how they're gonna sit or whatever. And but I was just really and I found it I felt it as a teaching moment for that little girl though, because I was like I thought it was just a basic they just wanted to both sit there because I told them 3 kids can't sit into a seat unless they're small enough, and I guess technically they were, but when she said that I was like okay let me do some teaching here.
I would have had both of the girls sit together and put the boys somewhere else.
I did. Yeah. Both girls,
you both are fighting. You both are gonna sit together.
But I let it be known though that hey, let's communicate with one another regardless of And the funny thing is the little girl didn't even, and that's how you can see that how racism really works. Or not even racism, but prejudice. Not racism, prejudice. Really works is if it's ingrained in you and you grow up that way, you don't even think it's wrong.
Because you don't see that.
Yeah, because the little girl didn't, she was an innocent little girl, and she didn't, she wasn't being hateful or anything. She was just saying, this is how it should be because that's probably how she was told.
Taught, yeah.
Because she was like, well, silly, that's silly because he's got blonde hair. He should sit with me because we could get married one day. And I'm like, wow, really? So, I think maybe people are in denial when they say they don't teach their child, prejudiced views when you really do. If you say certain things about other races in a negative light or that they need to stay with their own, it's really counterproductive to even say, oh, well, all of us are equal, but stay with your own.
You're still showing segregation.
Yeah, because that's going to confuse your child. Okay, we're all equal, but if we're all equal, then what do I need?
Why should I stay with my own?
Yeah, why do I got to hang out? And I don't mean just date with them, just hang out. Why can't I hang out with,
somebody else, yeah.
with another kid of another color, So I thought that was just interesting. So I'm going to bounce back to our first topic. Just remember, route number is very important, parents. That is how you know. I've had so many parents flagging me down looking at my bus number. All you have to do is look, and I've had parents even at my stops because there are different schools at different stops now. It's not like when I was a kid where everybody that stopped went to the same school. Now you got different kids going to different schools. So you have different parents out there, and they're like, does this school go to so-and-so? This bus go to so-and-so? And it's like, ma'am or sir, this is Route 217, Eagle Kenwood. You'll know, all you gotta do is look in your paper and look at the route number. Then you know what bus is coming for your child when it pulls up to the stop. So just to let you guys know that. And no one's half the battle. GI